I was a stay-at-home mom, and Kevin Brown, who is presently the executive director, had just returned to New Orleans looking for somebody to help him start a ministry. His dad recommended that he contact Gwendolyn Thomas, who was my sister. She worked with him before. And Gwendolyn had since moved on and could not afford to come back and work for a ministry. So she said, call my sister. I don't think she'll come, but give her a try. And Kevin called me. I went over to the office, sat down and talked with him, and that was in 1998. And he told me about what his vision. And he told me all about urban ministry, which I had no idea what he was talking about. And I did not have a desire to work at that time. My kids were small, and I felt very, very fortunate to be able to stay home with them. And I told him so. He asked me to pray about it, and I did. And I agreed to come on board part-time. And that was, 1999, when I came on board in January of 1999. It's been a while. I have done a little bit of everything. We were a small ministry, and first it was just Kevin and I. Started off as an office manager. We did everything: youth ministry, clean the place, Bible studies. And then later on, as the ministry grew, my roles changed. I've been the director of training, program manager. I've done AmeriCorps coordinator. Over the years, whatever the needs were, that's what I did. Now I'm a board member. We started out with a goal of building capacity in other organizations in this community and raising up indigenous leaders. Kevin started out reaching out to the adults, and we quickly found out that was going to be, that wasn't the way to go. So we started developing leaders from among the kids and working with children. So our vision was building up leaders and helping to transform a neighborhood by building capacity in other organizations that already existed. Working with the kids, for me, enabled me to get to know the families and the community. I worked in Holly Grove for about 6 or 7 years, and then Katrina occurred, and I decided to move into the neighborhood. By that time, I felt so connected with the neighborhood. And that's part of what an urban ministry wants to achieve, that you're not just coming into a neighborhood to help the neighborhood, but you become part of the neighborhood. And that's been part of the vision that has realized itself over the years. We have a strong, especially my role, has been a strong ministry to youth. And so our youth programs and after-school programs have been an important part. Enables us to develop relationships with the children and, by extension, their families, and introduce them to the gospel. I also worked with AmeriCorps, which is a government program. And it was a way to develop leaders. Often the AmeriCorps members came in, they were recently out of college or recently out of high school. And many times, sometimes they came because they wanted to serve a year before going on to the next step. But often they came because they didn't exactly know what they wanted to do with their lives. And so it was an opportunity to help shape and mold some young people, influence them. It was a little tricky at times, since AmeriCorps is a government program, but young people that came to the ministry often professed Christ. So it was a natural fit for us to help to influence their lives for the gospel. And that's one of the things I've enjoyed most, the young people, seeing them grow and develop spiritually and emotionally during the year that we had. Over the years, we've been involved in, evangelism programs. We had the Jesus Project, and we went door to door with the Jesus video and so forth. We've done those things over the years. Our evangelism has taken place in a relational matter. We get to know people. We serve the community. People begin to see Christ in us, and we are able to introduce them to the gospel, and especially with the young people, disciple them and see them grow. Just this weekend, we have a church in the community, and the young people, though not many, the young people that come there faithfully, unlike in many other places, come without parents, come on their own, come because they want to come there. And it really is looking at the glory of God, seeing them grow and become young Christians. The group we have now are all junior and seniors in high school, ready to go. And it does, it makes you feel so good to know that these kids whose parents are generally not Christians, who don't have that support, are being prepared to go out into the world with the gospel and a relationship with Jesus Christ. We always need prayer and financial support, but over the years we've had volunteer groups come in and stay a while. I would like to suggest, somebody has a passion for young people, to not so much the mission team or mission group, but to spend some time down and get to know some of the kids, maybe even befriend them. And what concerned me often when we had mission teams is that the groups come for a week and they do great work, but there's no relationship that develops, and these kids are always seen to be on the receiving end when they too have so much to give. But if somebody has a heart to do something, spend some time, get to know some kids who really could use a friend. This ministry has been around for a very long time, and God has used it in many different ways, depending on the need that existed. My prayer for the ministry is that God would draw people and to TCC to continue what He's done, and we don't know what that will look like because it's always been a changing thing.